Greetings and welcome to the channel. My name is Dr. Gyesie. I'm the transformational coach and shamanic guide here at Inner Mileage, where we help folks understand their limiting self-beliefs, which is mostly related to trauma, and help them live resonant lives based on inspired action. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the silent but devastating reality of spiritual slavery and spiritual warfare in the workplace for empaths, but certainly for everyone. And this is particularly relevant if you've ever felt unseen, manipulated, drained, or if your soul is slowly being eroded at work. You're not alone. You may be experiencing a spiritual battlefield disguised as professionalism, one that's designed to break down empaths, truth seekers, and those who refuse to conform to manipulation. So what is spiritual slavery in the workplace? The energy trap of the corporate machine. The term spiritual slavery might sound very dramatic, but it is precisely what happens in organizations where power and control and psychological manipulation are the unspoken currency. And this is not for all workplaces, but certainly toxic workplaces. And from an academic standpoint, researchers from Harvard Business Review, the Journal of Organizational Behavior, and others have identified that toxic corporate environments systematically drain employees' psychological resources, leaving them emotionally fatigued, intellectually stunted, and spiritually empty. See, the concept of psychological contracts, the unspoken expectations between an employer and an employee, have been weaponized in toxic environments. And organizations that are toxic demand loyalty without reciprocating care. And employees are subtly conditioned to believe their worth is tied solely to their productivity. Again, this is context specifically for environments that may have toxicity as a system or toxic leaders, right? Not every workplace is like that. But in that sense, the modern toxic workplace, that's organizations that are like that, is a battleground for your spirit. And if you're an empath, you're the first one to break it. So let's get into the mechanics of spiritual warfare at work. See, spiritual warfare isn't just about religious doctrine. It's about control, it's about energetic dynamics, and psychological manipulation. And in esoteric traditions, such as Hermeticism and Buddhist philosophy also, spiritual warfare is described as the struggle between awareness and illusion. And in modern workplaces, illusions take the form of, one, false promises of purpose. Employers market their jobs as meaningful, yet employees are often reduced to units of labor, not human souls. Then there's emotional gaslighting. Organizations invalidate your intuition. You're told that's just the way things are whenever you challenge dysfunction. And then there's energy vampirism. Ever notice how some leaders seem to extract ideas, emotional labor, and enthusiasm from you, but give nothing in return? You leave every meeting emotionally drained, but intellectually empty. In an ancient Vedic text, this energy-draining structure is referred to as Asuric leadership, a leadership style fueled by control, deception, and psychological dominance. And in Buddhism, it aligns with the concept of Mara, which are forces that work tirelessly to keep individuals in states of illusion, exhaustion, and self-doubt. So let's get into how narcissistic abuse is normalized in the culture of the workplace. So narcissistic abuse in workplaces isn't just a few bad bosses, to be specific. It's a systemic structure designed to benefit the most manipulative individuals. And according to Harvard Business Review, corporate narcissism thrives because it rewards individuals who lack empathy, exploit others, and manipulate systems for personal gain. The workplace becomes a breeding ground for narcissists where they, one, gaslight employees, making you believe that toxic work culture is normal and that you are the problem for not adapting. They manufacture chaos, keeping employees on edge, uncertain of their standing, and emotionally destabilized. Then they also use future faking, making grand promises about promotions, recognition, and job security, only to pull the rug out once compliance is ensured. This mirrors the psychological cycle of narcissistic abusing relationships, where victims are at first idealized, then devalued, and finally discarded. The workplace is no different. It's a relationship, just one where power is monetized, you see. So you begin to realize that there's a reason why this happens, and it's all about power. And again, this is in the context of individuals who bring this toxicity into the environment. It's normalized and role modeled, particularly if you have senior leaders who model this kind of behavior, right? So why are empaths the primary targets of such abuse? What's the threat of emotional intelligence to a narcissistic workplace system? Well, empaths are the greatest threats to toxic workplaces because they can see behind the mask, in the same way Dorothy could see behind the curtain to see what the Wizard of Oz really looked like, not as intimidating and imposing as they did in front of the curtain. And in ancient texts like the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu warns that those who see clearly are often feared by those who live in illusion. Those who see clearly are often feared by those who live in illusion. And this is why. Empaths disrupt the false narratives. Narcissistic leaders work so hard to maintain it. So an empath, even without speaking or being rebellious, if you may, just by their mere presence energetically disrupt this and become a mirror to this sort of false narrative, which makes them a target. Another thing an empath does is expose dysfunction where others might normalize it or accept it. Now, it doesn't mean that others are not aware that there is dysfunction. It is that their investment in exposing it is a little different because of their own internal alignment based on their own previous causes and conditions and their own programs that they carry. The other thing is empaths value authenticity over compliance, therefore making empaths immune to manipulation if they are aware of what's happening. This is the truth. And unfortunately, many empaths are gaslit into believing they are the problem. They are told they are too sensitive, too intense, or too idealistic. All phrases designed to make them doubt their own truth. This happens. So what are some things that empaths can do to reclaim their power? Well, there are a few things. The empath can fight back from spiritual slavery and narcissistic abuse by, one, detaching from the illusion and recognize that toxic workplaces are built on falsehoods, not truth, and your worth is not tied to your productivity. The other thing is to strengthen energy boundaries, right? So it's important that empaths do not absorb everything, using energetic shielding techniques such as meditation, breath work, and visualization. Then it's important for the empath to have an exit strategy. For example, if you're trapped in a spiritually draining environment, start planning your escape. Document everything, build external support, and lead with power. And ultimately, you want to find a tribe. In other words, seeking environments that nourish rather than drain your spirit. These are companies, entrepreneurs, and organizations that really and truly value gifts. Because your soul was never meant to be sacrificed for some type of remuneration if it's not aligned to your purpose and your abilities. Now, I say that all in the context of realizing that we are in a new techno-feudal economy that has realities. But if you feel like you're dying inside at work, listen to that voice. It's telling you the truth. If this resonates with you, type transform in the comment section or let us know how this gels with you, and realize that the modern workplace has become a battlefield, something you were never meant to be a casualty in. You're not weak for feeling deeply. You're not. You're not wrong for seeing through the illusions. You're not alone. And this happens because you're awakening to a deeper truth within you, one that is aligning you if you continue to follow it to your true purpose. This is how you get to the truth of your true mission here on this planet. If this resonates with you, type transform in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe to this video. Hit the notifications bell. so you are updated whenever new videos are posted. Share this widely and broadly and recognize there's absolutely no one like you. Keep on shining, keep on elevating. Peace.